Hey everybody, ABC 10 meteorologist Brendan Minchef here with an extended look at the forecast because we had a lot of rain earlier this week. We had a lot of rain in the Sacramento area on Friday. That heaviest stuff is over, but as you can see right here, there is more rain on the way. So let's jump into it. And first, we're going to take a look at the numbers for downtown Sacramento. On November 22nd, which was Friday, we saw 2 inches of rain downtown. That is a new daily record for November 22nd. The previous record, just over an inch, that was set back in 1978. So yeah, we crushed the daily daily rainfall record for downtown Sacramento on Friday. You can tell I'm still a little bit scarred from the summer by saying high temperature records. We set a lot of those over the summer. This is a rainfall record. That's a lot better to set. Total rainfall, though, from Tuesday through 4 a.m. on Saturday. So again, storm total rainfall through 4 a.m. Saturday. The coastal range, anywhere from a foot to 2 feet of rain in the coastal range. That is an insane amount of water. This was a level 4 out of 5 atmospheric river storm. I have to say, if this storm that we just had, mid to late November was plopped into, say, mid to late January or February, the strong to extreme, AR4, this would cause some pretty widespread flooding issues, especially along the North Coast and coastal range. With numbers like that, we would be looking at very high rivers. We'd be looking at weirs flowing across the Sacramento area, across the valley. We'd be maybe a little concerned about some levees just because of how much water was with this storm. So again, because this was really the first bigger storm, the first atmospheric river of the season, really, there were some minor issues. I mean, Santa Rosa, with over a foot of rain, did have some urban flooding, some pretty widespread urban flooding. There was some other issues up along the North Coast, especially with the Eel River. But all in all, we handled this just fine because we were still dry from the summer. We still didn't have rivers that were high. Reservoirs are still, 50% or lower generally. So this amount of water was just fine because it was the first one. But if we had this type of storm in a January or February, we would be talking about some flooding issues for sure. So just keep that in mind as you look at these numbers. Shasta Dam, a foot of rain up there. Oroville Dam, almost 10.5 inches. Chico, 9.5 inches. Ukiah, 8.5 inches. Blue Canyon, almost 7 inches of rain. That was, again, liquid water, 7 inches of that. Downtown Sacramento, 2 and about 3/4 of an inch of rain. Keep in mind, we saw 2 inches of rain on Friday alone, which tells you we didn't see all that much from Tuesday went through Wednesday and Thursday. Once we got to Friday, that's when we saw the majority of that rainfall. Stockton hardly saw anything at all. They were registering less than 1/10 of an inch before we got to Friday, and Modesto did not pick up anything at all until we got to Friday. And still, those numbers, about 1/2 inch to 1 inch of rain, Stockton, Modesto. So San Joaquin Valley was on the far southern side of the atmospheric river, which is why that rainfall total numbers down there, just really not that impressive. But once you go up to the North Coast, you go up in the upper valley, those are really some impressive numbers. What that's done for our statewide precipitation is, at least for the Sacramento Valley and out along the coast, we're now above average on the water year. Water year starts October 1st. So we're 1.5 inches to the good in Sacramento, over 4.5 inches to the good in Redding, almost 6 inches above in Eureka, about 1.5 inches in San Francisco as well. But even somewhere like Stockton, Modesto, we're just about 1/2 inch or less below where we should be for the time of year. So it's not a bad start to the rainy season whatsoever. Southern California also looking at just about 1 inch below normal for the time of year. And this was just the first storm of what will likely be at least a few through the winter months. I know that the La Nina years aren't always wet, but sometimes, especially with these kind of weak to moderate La Nina years, sometimes those can be pretty wet years, climatologically speaking. So we're just going to have to kind of wait and see how this year shapes up. We'll be thankful for the rain that we've already had. The atmospheric river now is even further to the south, and it's kind of taking a little bit more of a northeasterly orientation, whereas it was pointed right at Cape Mendocino, and then as it pushed through the capital region, it was almost exactly aligned with Interstate 80 at times. Now, it is further south, so we're still seeing some moisture up in the Sierra. We're still seeing some snow, but rain in the valley as of early Saturday morning. is pretty scattered, and I do expect it to stay that way. Some rain struggling to come off the coastal range. Right now, it is west of 505, west of 5 in the upper valley. It is in the Bay Area, Vallejo, Oakland, Fairfield, Vacaville, seeing some showers. We'll have chances for scattered showers across the valley through the daytime today, but generally, we are going to be drier than where we were for much of the week to this point, and certainly compared to Friday. The ABC 10 Weather Impact Alert headlines: scattered showers for Saturday with some drier periods, though. In fact, as I'm recording this video Saturday morning, we're looking at mostly clear skies in Sacramento. In the Sierra, we're still going to see moderate to heavy snow through much of the daytime today, including some very difficult travel. Chain controls are currently active across US 50 and Interstate 80. But for Sunday, drier across the region. I expect even the Sierra to be looking at dry conditions with a mix of sun and clouds, but there is more rain and snow to come beginning on Monday. So let's take a look at some of the Caltrans cameras this morning. I-80 at Donner, US 50 at Echo Summit. Again, chain controls for both. You can see it is very wintry up there. Makes sense why that would be the case. 99 at Grantline, I-5 at Richards. Roads are still damp to wet for most places across the Sacramento metro area. So just keep that in mind this morning as more folks drive on the roads through the rest of the daytime, and especially as we don't see quite as much rain, those roads are going to dry out. But one other thing, just keep in mind, scattered showers are possible. So even as it dries, we're going to put a little bit more water back down later on this afternoon. In terms of winter, though, that winter storm warning continues. This is important until Tuesday at 4 p.m. across the Sierra, across the central Sierra and the greater Tahoe region. Still expecting 1 to 4 feet storm total, not another 4 feet, but storm total 1 to 4 feet with this storm and the one that comes in early next week. Wind gusts at times over 50. Chain controls, we see that travel just generally discouraged because of how treacherous that drive is right now. High temperatures Saturday, we're going to be in those upper 50s, low 60s in the valley, or not all that different from where we have been the last several days. Some scattered showers as well in the valley and foothills, but then that snow, again, moderate to heavy at times up in the Sierra. Rain chances do drop for Sunday. Some of the weather models are, suggesting we could see maybe 1 or 2 kind of quick passing showers, maybe even a thunderstorm on Sunday for parts of the valley. That's why it's not 0, but generally I expect us to be dry. That's why there's that partly cloudy skies icon. But 60% chance of rain today. Monday, Tuesday, we're going to go 80% chance both days for the Sac Metro. Then by Wednesday, this is really a 25% chance really early on in the day, maybe for like a morning commute kind of situation where we could see some lingering stuff, because once we get to Wednesday, I do expect us to really be quite a bit drier in the storms to be tapering off across the region. So the timeline here, scattered valley showers for Saturday, moderate to heavy Sierra snow. Sunday's that break between storms. We'll see that in Futurecast in just a second. Mainly dry across the region. Monday, Tuesday is round 2. It's not going to be as heavy as what we saw this week, and certainly not as heavy as what we saw on Friday. But we are going to have some widespread showers for Monday. Some moderate snow in the high country with snow levels about 5,000 to 6,000 feet in elevation. Tuesday, some widespread moderate rain in the valley, and then that Sierra snow will continue. So Monday's a little more scattered. Tuesday, I think, will be a little bit more blanket coverage in terms of rain. But we're going to have to keep an eye on this. There's still roughly 48 hours to go until we get there, and we'll get a much better idea by Sunday morning. That's just my thinking right now. Taking a look at Futurecast as we go through Saturday morning. Again, some scattered showers, mainly struggling to come off of the coastal range and work their way into the valley, but you do see snow continuing through the morning and afternoon hours today. And if we get some clearing in the valley, some of these could be some weak thunderstorms. So if you hear some thunder, don't necessarily be surprised at that. Just because of the instability in the atmosphere, and if we can get some sunshine, that'll help to destabilize things a little further. So again, some rumbles of thunder not out of the question, not expecting anything severe, and not expecting much rain either, a few hundredths of an inch tops, that's about it. But that snow, again, is going to continue through the afternoon and evening hours. Now, once we get into Saturday night, Sunday morning, this is midnight now, we're dry pretty much across the region. This will be the case through Sunday. You see even maybe some sunshine up there in the Sierra to start Sunday morning. You look off to the west along the north coast out towards Fort Bragg, you do see some more rain. Not going to happen on Sunday. Maybe some scattered showers up in the northern valley. I do expect most of us to be dry in the valley and in the Sierra, but that will continue to push into our area, and by Monday, that's when that rain starts to return. So this is right around the Monday morning commute, 8 o'clock, and you see some scattered showers in the valley. You see some snow up in the Sierra as well. So again, this is going to build in as we go through Monday. Now, rainfall totals through the weekend, again, maybe a few hundredths of an inch. This model in particular, not even picking up a tenth of an inch across the valley. But most of what we're still going to see through the weekend is going to be in the Sierra, and that will fall in the form of snow. So by Sunday at lunchtime, looking at another maybe half a foot of snow for some areas. Then when round 2 moves in, Monday, Tuesday, we're going to see totals closer to about 12 inches, maybe even a little bit more than that. We could see another 1 to 2 feet of snow Monday through Tuesday for some locations. But at the passes, we're likely looking at another 6 to 12 inches to start the work week. Here's long-range futurecast. This is that storm today, and you see those scattered valley showers, snow up in the high country, pretty much dry across the region on Sunday. Then Monday, we see some more showers. We see snow return. Again, this is expected. Tuesday, a little more widespread in the valley, some moderate to heavy snow in the Sierra. Again, 6 to 12 inches additional for the high country. But then by Wednesday, skies clear out. We dry out. So headed in to the Thanksgiving holiday, things are looking much better for travel, whether you're flying or driving. So that is kind of that extended look at the forecast. So weather impact alerts for Saturday, not for Sunday, because I expect us to be pretty much dry across the region on Sunday. Then Monday and Tuesday as well, we're going to go back to those weather impact alerts for the rain and snow that we just saw on the long-range futurecast. Headed into the holiday, I know this is going to be a busy week for travel. Lots of folks are going to have extended periods of time off, maybe a 4-day weekend, maybe longer. The good news is weather's going to be chilly, but it should be dry. Look at this, 57 for Wednesday, 55 Thursday, 55 on Friday. And then into the weekend after Thanksgiving, we could even reach 60 degrees again for next Sunday. But I also want to point out the morning temperatures. We're looking at upper 30s for the Thanksgiving holiday. So jackets in the morning. If we get some sunshine, you might not need the jackets in the afternoon. That's just kind of, personal taste, whether you like the jacket when it's 55 or not. But the point is, when we're talking about the rain and the snow, the worst of it for sure is behind us at this point. And for the Sierra, it's going to be wrapping up. The worst of it will be wrapping up today. It doesn't mean it's going to get completely better. It doesn't mean it goes away, because even though Sunday's dry, we get a bit of a pause. Monday, Tuesday, again, we are looking at round 2 as kind of the secondary system comes in, wraps some of that moisture back in, but then that's out of here. It's not going to be as extreme as what we saw this week. So by Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, things really do start to wrap up. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great weekend, and be sure to stay safe out there in the rain and the snow.